All right, to further my test, we got it in snow. Let's bring it in and see if this thing will work, let alone charge. It's been in a snowbank. Let's see how it does. All right, let's see how cold this thing is. Like it's 33 degrees. Let's try it again. 30 degrees. All right, so basically you can't charge this without damaging it. So that's where the self-heating battery comes in, as it's written right there. Low temperature charging self-heating. So we're going to hook up a charger to it and see if it'll charge. I haven't charged this battery since I've got it. Like I said, I took it straight out of the box and started recording. So I want to see if the self-heating will protect the battery. Okay, I got most of the snow off. I want to make sure I don't have water with my connection here. So we're good there. Now I'm just going to put on the terminals here. All right, we got these little caps that come with it, so you get no shock. All right, we're just going to hand tighten it for right now. And we're going to measure how much battery we got. Most lithium batteries are at 14.6, I believe. So it's almost fully charged, but I want to see if it'll charge with it being so cold. So with reading the directions, they'll have a pop-up register account, all that stuff you have to go through. But this is what it looks like when you're on the app. It only took, I don't know, 30 seconds to recognize the battery. So it tells me all about it, which is great. Okay, I'm doing this live, y'all. Right now it's 13.2 volts. There's nothing going in or going out. And I didn't charge the battery only because I'm doing this test to see if the BMS will recognize the battery and tell me when I charge it whether it'll let me or not charge it because of it being so cold. So I want to see if those heaters kick in when the battery's cold, trying to be charged, and go from there. It says the BMS will turn on heating function automatically inside the battery. The battery runs in its best condition when starting charging. When the temperature is lower than 32 degrees, the current of charging will provide electricity for heating film inside the battery when the internal temperature reaches 41 degrees. All right, let's see if it does that. Okay, got my charger in. I'm going to get lithium battery here, and we'll give this a shot. See what happens. See if it charges or doesn't charge. And it shut off. Trying to charge it, it shut off. So the BMS is working correctly. Now let's watch and see this battery warm up, which seems like it is. Let's see if it's supposed to do its job. This may take a minute. Battery does have to warm up. I'm going to watch the temperature. I also have my gun to read it. It's at 33. See this side? It's at 32. Well, let's give it a minute. Okay, battery's still at 54%. Battery charger is not charging the battery. See, the BMS is working, and I'm at 1.0 Celsius. The battery warmer is working. It's a little slow. It's been almost 45 minutes now, but it's gradually getting there from -2 earlier. Okay, it's roughly been a little over an hour now, and I really haven't gone up much as far as the BMS recognizing the cold. It's 25 degrees out now, and it's just slowly warming. So I don't know if that's a normal thing with it being cold out, but it doesn't really feel. It started out warming, but that's it so far. I'm just gonna hang out and see what happens here in the next hour. If it doesn't warm much more, then I'll continue tomorrow during the day when it's a little warmer out. But just wanted to give you a heads up on that. Okay, it is the next day. It's a little warmer today. I had to shut it down last night because it took an hour and a half for the battery to get from -1 to 1.6 Celsius. I'll have to look at the tape again to be accurate on that. But here's my temperature now, 36 degrees. My battery, according to the Bluetooth app, 2.9 Celsius. So it's jumped since last night. And so is the temperature. So I'm going to hook this up and see if the BMS still is accurate as far as trying to charge it. It shouldn't charge until battery is 41 Fahrenheit. So let's ask Siri what 41 Fahrenheit is in Celsius. Siri, what's 41 Fahrenheit in Celsius?
It's 5 degrees Celsius.
So it'd be 5 Celsius would be 41 degrees. All right. It'll always start, and it usually cuts off. Okay, it's not cutting off. That's weird. This says 43 degrees. Battery 44 degrees. And this has some play. It's not perfect, but it's semi-accurate. Sides at 39. Top. Yeah, 44 on the side. In the middle, 44. 43 on top. So technically it should be charging, but on the app it says 3.0 Celsius, which would be about 34, 35 Fahrenheit. So that's throwing me a little bit. So I reached out to Vatrer, being worried about charging battery before 41 Fahrenheit, 5 Celsius. Vatrer replied that you can charge battery safely at 0 Celsius, 32 Fahrenheit. The manual wasn't as specific. Good to know. Okay, before I fully charge the battery, which is at, you see the app here, 55%. I just want to run a few things before I fully charge it. And again, we're at 3.5 Celsius, so we're not, according to the app, which has been a little different from the battery itself. I want to make sure that the battery BMS makes this number a little higher before I do a charge. So it says 33 Fahrenheit, 13.3 volts. And we're gonna plug in this fan here, which uses about roughly 100 watts of power off of that. All my cables are cold since I'm working in the garage. Here we go. All right. Turn to power. And there it goes. Got 12.5 volts. (100) minus 123 watts. You can see that. Battery 12.8. Again, the fan's 100 watts. And it's running out just fine. We're at 9.2 amps. Battery's at 55%. Okay, I got my 12 volt fridge out here. Got it plugged in here using a DC cigarette lighter. I'm going to go right into barrel plug on my inverter. Plug that in. Okay, I heard it. Again, battery's at 55%. I'm gonna move this over here and see if we can get our fridge to turn on. And there it is. It's currently 65 on fridge side, 66 on freezer side. I think they're both set at 38, if I remember correctly. But I heard the converter turn on. Alright, let's see what we got. Alright, back to battery test. Okay, I've been running the fridge off the battery for a good 10-15 minutes. All is doing well. It's only used 1% of the battery. And reading 12.8 volts. And we're already down to 43 fridge size and freezer 49. 12.4 volts on eco mode. So I'm going to shut this down because obviously we see that it works. I will be doing more tests as far as battery and refrigerator life to see how long this battery will last. Yeah, you can do the math, but every fridge is different. And with this one, it's the fridge and freezer. Now I'm gonna charge this battery to full. Okay, I've got 98% battery charge so far. So obviously I have 2% to go. It's taken so far, started at 349 and just copied this here at 7:15. So it's taken almost 3 hours to fully charge from 54%. So success as far as charging. Battery's a little warm, not too bad. Battery's somewhat room temperature. It's about 36 here in the garage, 35. All right, 100%. All right, so we got the charge at 100%. Sorry for the garage mess, but it's a working garage. It's just been a cold video to do, but I wanted it to be cold so I could show the Vatrer product, and I want to thank Vatrer for sending the product to review. I'm definitely going to be using this a lot. It has pros and cons. Start with the cons. A lead acid battery will crank pretty much at any degrees and will charge. And with lithium, you're not going to be able to charge for most products, especially this one, under 0 Celsius. And thank you for Vatrer for reaching back to me as far as the email I sent, because I was going by the manual where it said it had to be 40 Fahrenheit to charge, and it didn't have to be. It didn't have to be. So they just recommend not to charge it anything under 0 point Celsius. I know it's a lot of numbers, but that's one of the cons too. Out of a lead acid battery, you don't have to deal with all that. But then the pros, you can run this battery to 0, where a lead acid you can't, without damaging the battery. Lithium, you can run. So you're going to get way more of the hours and benefits as far as using lithium. It did take a little while for the heaters to heat the battery, but the condition I was in was 25 degrees and it got down to 20 degrees. So it did struggle there a little bit, but it did charge. It took a little longer. I had to wait for it to warm up a little bit. But otherwise, it performed flawlessly. If this is something you're interested in, especially the new technology, it's pretty awesome. Heaters on lithium batteries. That's pretty genius. With the BMS technology on your app phone to monitor it, that's pretty cool. If you want to check out the specs on this, look at the description below. Get specs. I'll leave a link to the product itself, and you can check it out there for yourself.